Hi, I'm Mars from StrataGames, and today we're just playing some traditional mono blue terror. Playing Terror, Cryptic Serpent, and we're doing the Delvers this time. Some lists have been playing it without Delver and playing Murmuring Mystic instead, but we're just trying, like I said, the traditional version. 2 Demon Furiers, 2 Deep Analysis and Sleep of the Dead is what we're running. 4 Counterspells, 4 Force Spikes, and then of course 4 Mental Note, 4 Thought Scour, 4 Brainstorm, 2 Ponders. We have 4 Lorians and then 16 Islands. So again, pretty standard stuff. In the sideboard, 4 Annul, 4 Blue Elemental Blast, 2 Dispel, 2 Envelop, and 3 Gutshot. So let's just take this for a league and see how the traditional Mono Blue Terror does right now. This hand has no interaction, but it has some decent cantrips and things like that, so we're going to give it a try and hope that we don't just get run over by madness or something. We're going to start with a Ponder, 2 Islands and a Counterspell. I could take the Counterspell and then mill the Islands with the Mental Note. Counterspell's good, but we're not even going to be able to play it next turn. Milling Islands doesn't help us get to our 2 Serpents, so I think we actually just shuffle and draw off of that. We draw an island anyway, so a bit unfortunate of a start. They have Grab the Prize with the Lava Dart. We get a Force Spike, which hopefully can have a little bit of relevance here if they cast like a Grab the Prize before playing a land or play a Gutter Snipe or something. Or I guess they could even play a land and then like grab the prize with the Fiery Temper. Once they cast the Temper, I could counter the Grab the Prize. And they go for a Robbery, which I gotta let go. And a Snacker comes back. We will Mental Note here, hitting a spell and a spell and a Delver, and we draw an island. So pretty unfortunate. We have 3 spells. If I hit 2 spells, then I could Terror here. I think it's worth a try, although we only hit 1. So I could Serpent or Terror. Then I don't hold up a Force Spike. I think we're just going to go for it, though. I'm only holding up a Force Spike, not even a full counterspell, so I think we might as well just get the Serpent down, and maybe with Brainstorm and stuff, we can find some counterspells and actually hit hard enough that it'll be okay. They're going to swing with the Snacker. They hardcast a Fiery Temper on the Serpent, and then they're going to Bolt it, or maybe Lava Dart it. This is not the worst thing ever. When they tapped for 3, I expected a Gutter Snipe and expected to lose next turn, but Fiery Temper and a Bolt, taking that down is not terrible for us. Delver's not bad either, so I have to play the Brainstorm to make Terror cheap as possible, plus I can set up the Delver here. And we have a Counterspell, okay. Or I could just double Terror. Clearly they can't kill us. They didn't have a way to Fiery Temper for cheap. I kind of think we just double Terror. So let's put back Deep Analysis, Brainstorm. Like I could Terror and then Counterspell. I think this is better. I could even Delver, but I think I'd rather hold it with a Force Spike, which could be relevant. They'll swing for 2, then Flame Breather, pass. Here we'll slam for 10. I will Brainstorm. I know we have a Deep Analysis on top, Thought Scour. So I could play a Serpent and then hold up Counterspell. That's probably best. Then we have 3 lethal attackers. So let's put back Deep Analysis, Force Spike, in case I want to Thought Scour those away. Then we'll pass. Lava Dart us. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flashing them back. We're down to 8, 6 off the Snacker. Yeah, I could lose here for sure. Obviously, if I had held up the Counterspell last turn, I could have got the Flame Breather. Maybe that would have been, that would have been safer for sure. But we would not be putting up lethal this next turn, so I'm not sure it was the better plan. They hardcast a Fiery Temper at us. Fiery Temper puts us to 8. Snacker puts us to 6. Both Lava Darts puts us to 2, but I can counter whatever else they get. Whereas if I counter this, we go to 11, we could go down to 5, and then they could have a Fire Blast, which would kill us. So I think I have to let this resolve. Because if I counter it, then Fire Blast kills us. And if I don't let it resolve, or if I don't counter it, then I can just counter whatever else, and they should only be able to put us to 1, which means I have to leave back the Snacker, so we actually stay at 3. Then they have to chump with both of these. Yeah, there's the Fire Blast, which we will counter. They were just doing it to see if they had the win, if I didn't have a counterspell, but since I had it, they're going to hold back. I'm going to Thought Scour in our upkeep, because if we can find a Sleep of the Dead, we'll win, or a Demon Inferior, and the Force Spike on top and the Deep Analysis do not help us. I mean, milling the Deep Analysis might help us get there. Oh, they're just going to Lava Dart here before we can counterspell them, I guess. Actually, that changes things a little bit. Force Spike gets a lot better now that they're at 2 mana, because like theoretically, if we attack, they have to chump. They Lava Dart us, we go to 3, but they're only going to have 1 land, and then I can Force Spike a Bolt. I actually now think I keep this. I wasn't 100% sure they were going to use the Lava Dart, and if they could certainly keep this other dart, but then I still have a Force Spike for like a 2-drop, Grab the Prize or whatever. I should have still Thought Scoured actually before we attacked, because I still could have found a Sleep of the Dead or whatever, so that was a mistake, but hopefully we'll be okay. Eat their guys, put them to 5. They have 1 mana, Thought Scour. Oh, let me flashback this Deep Analysis. Well, I'll play a bunch of creatures and counter whatever they draw, if they draw 1 drop here that they can play. Oh my gosh, they actually got there. Good thing we kept this Force Spike. That was close. Of course, we get Blue Blast. blasts, and we get envelops and dispels. Don't want to pay life to a deep analysis. Sleep of the Dead does not feel very good here. Of course, there can be times, obviously, where I want it, but in general, I don't love it. I mean, Counterspell is just expensive. It's good, but is it even worth it? I don't know. Maybe Delvers can be cut because they get killed pretty easily. Plus, they have Snackers. All right, we have some decent interaction with the 4 spikes and some cantrips. This one's okay. Relic is annoying. We will try to deal with that. I'll Force Spike an Epic here. It could definitely deal us a lot of damage, especially with the Relic preventing us from getting Serpents down. They also didn't play a land, which they could be like, yeah, okay, they sandbagged it a little bit, but like they probably shouldn't have, because what if they wanted to pay for the Force Spike? But whatever. Double Relic it's gonna be a slog. I think now we basically just don't fill our graveyard until we can really fill it. Like even a Ponder, there's no reason to use it this early, I don't think. Especially because we got rid of Delvers, so our game plan has to be Serpents, but clearly it's going to be a long one to get there. Well, they grab the prize. I guess we'll go for a Brainstorm because I could find an Envelop or Red Blast, and we do. Let's put back... I can't really get rid of Terrors either because we have a limited number of them. Demon Fear is not looking super relevant. We need to hit our land drops. I think maybe Force Spike is not the biggest deal here. We'll Envelop and hope they don't have a Blue Blast or Red Blast. Of course they do. Snacker comes back. I can Thought Scour here. We hit 2 spells. We know that. I guess if I get a Thought Scour and then I can perfectly hit 2 more spells, I can Terror this turn before they can Snacker. Oh, there's the Mental Note. I might as well draw. If Mental Note hits 2 spells, then I can get a Terror. It did not. It hit a Serpent and an Island. Pretty unfortunate, so I can't play a Terror. I could Demon Furier. Snacker's going to deal us a lot. I could get rid of a Relic, but then they just draw it back. That's not a big deal. Oh, I guess this does go into the graveyard, in which I already had enough spells I probably would have forced a Relic to pop, so I don't know. That's tough. Very difficult to play this match when opponent has double Relic, I think. They obviously crack one. They did choose second from the top, which means almost assuredly they have another Grab the Prize here. But they play a Flame Breather. Faithless Looting, sure. If I draw the right sequence of cards, I could force the Relic to pop, which would get rid of their looting and their Snacker. Actually, no, they can't pop it. Never mind. Discard a Fiery Temper they can't use. Okay. I mean, we're not in a bad spot by any means. They have, a decent card, an annoying card. They have Faithless Looting and Grave, which is pretty good, but they only have 1 card in hand. Thought Scour is not bad. Let's go for a Ponder. Ugh, why all these islands? I need to be hitting spells. Let's shuffle that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I can't get the Terror either way. Ugh, I just needed Ponder to hit better. They try to get rid of the Ponder. I probably should just Brainstorm Thought Scour here. Put back a couple islands. But now I have a Counterspell. Should probably hold that Counterspell for this Faithless Looting, which is going to get back a Snacker and generally be probably swing for 1. Epicure. If I Thought Scour on the end step, this ensures I could Terror on my main phase if I totally whiff, but it gives him the option to Relic. Yeah, that's not good. Relic twice even. Island, although I guess I knew I was hitting an island there. These draws are so unfortunate. Thought Scour ourselves, they Relic in response. Can't do anything about it. Then I have to hit 2 spells, but I'm pretty sure I know that there's an island on there. Okay, Envelop's not bad. We also milled a Blue Blast, which is not great. Take 2, and they have just another Relic, which triggers the Flame Breather, so I can counter this, and then they pop their Relic. I mean, if I don't counter this, I still just can't get this Terror down. So I think we do it, which might force them to pop their Relic finally. Maybe I get this down in like a turn or 2, which they did not. Okay. I mean, if they have a Red Blast, I can't do anything about that, but I can finally cast a Terror for 4. It resolves. Relic again. I guess they probably don't want to pop it because of their Snacker. That makes sense. I have a Gutter Snipe. That's bad. Give me a Hydro Blast. Blue Elemental Blast, please. We get another Terror. Well, we're going to cast it during our main phase before they decide to crack the Relic, like during combat or something. Swing for 5. They Relic and Faithless finally. We are going to Envelop that. We can't let them dig. It could hit a Fiery Temper, which would be really bad. Snacker coming back is bad. In general, it's pretty bad, but we could definitely still be dead. Blood Token away a mountain. Interesting. No attacks, I assume. Okay. Give me something good. Blue Blast. There we go. That's pretty good. I think we just kill a Gutter Snipe with that and play a Terror. It's about all we have. I could obviously hold it for like a Grab the Prize, but I think the Gutter Snipe's a lot more dangerous. So we attack, they go to 5, we'll shoot this, and then we have 3 lethal attackers if they can't kill us here. They do have 3 cards, so we could definitely be dead, like Bolt, Lava Dart, whatever. Grab the Prize with a Snacker. Luckily the Snackers don't really matter now. I either win here or lose here, I think. I mean, I guess if they get an Epicure, play that, like Snackers could matter because they have chump blockers, but it's about the same as us losing in any other way. We're at 6. If they pop the Relic, that means that they're desperate to find like a Fire Blast. Fire Blast would kill us because it's 5 damage plus they can attack for 1. Lava Dart's only 4, Lightning Bolt's only 4, so those don't kill us by themselves. themselves. They pyroblast the terror, pay for it. So we go to 5, and then they have the chump blockers. So I need to hit like I took out sleep. I left in Demon Inferior, obviously Blue Blast. Yeah, I guess the snackers are going to matter if we don't draw the right card here. That's not it. We go to 1 off the snackers. I guess we hope they don't have anything that deals the damage. Snackers mattered after all. Crack the relic. I guess, yeah, they cast something that deals the damage first before attacks just to ensure it resolves. Fiery Temper, and then if it resolves, they can attack. Yep. I mean, really close, despite the fact that they had a million relics. Relics so problematic, it feels like a null might be worth it, but we're going to be on the play this time. I think we just ship it back. Hope they don't draw them quite as quickly, or that we have like a Force Spike for him or something. His hand is decent, but it does not deal with a relic, so here's hoping. We don't. But I can counter a couple other first things and Thought Scour Lorien, so we can get a relatively fast terror, probably about turn 4. Epicure is fine. I could Thought Scour, but I think I might as well just cycle the Lorien. We're probably going to do that anyway, and this way, if we draw a Brainstorm or something, we might have more synergy with the Thoughts. Counterspells, not bad. Obviously, we can just stop whatever they're doing for the next few turns, and then land a terror. We'll take 1. If they plot a robbery, then I probably just plan to hold up Envelop, counterspell next turn, but they don't even do that. Let's just Thought Scour. Hits Blue Blast, Deem. Blue Blast would be a good draw, but hitting 2 spells is nice. So I could just Terror or Serpent here, but I think that's foolish. Tapping out for something that could easily be Pyroblasted, and then we'll just lose because we're tapped out. But if we get a counterspell off here, then it'll make it easy to like Terror and then counterspell next turn. Take damage. They got nothing though. Brainstorm. I could Brainstorm, but that's still only letting me get like a 2-mana Serpent, in which case I'm not holding up Counterspell, so let's just pass. We're not under a lot of pressure, and if they don't do anything again, then I can just Brainstorm, and that'll give us our cheap Serpents. They didn't even hit a land drop, which is nice. Let's go for the Brainstorm. Blue Blast is great. Island is good. So I think we put back like Serpent Counterspell, something like that. And then I play a 2-mana Terror. If they want to fight over it, then I can, or I could just let it go. But I could, let's do this. I can Blue Blast. If they fire back again, then I can Terror for 1 and still hold up an Envelop. Obviously, I could also just Counterspell, but then we're fully tapping out, which I don't think I like. But now I can Terror, and yeah, like holding up the Envelop's still pretty good. If they have a third one, we still have a Cryptic Serpent coming, so like it's not the end of the world, but yeah, that's pretty good from them. Like now if they go for a Grab the Prize, I get to Envelop it, unless they have a 4th Pyro. I guess if they land a Gutter Snipe here, now that we tapped out of Counterspells, that's really bad. Ideally, now that they went through a bunch of red blasts, the Cryptic Serpent is going to be, like, the fact that it doesn't have ward won't be too big of a deal, hopefully. But maybe I should have kept the Cryptic Serpent as the first one to cast, since I was casting it for 2 anyway. And then I would have a Terror here, which would cost 1 and still have ward. That could have been, don't think I was quite thinking about it. Yeah, they get the Gutter Snipe down, and an Epicure. Okay, 1 card in hand. We're landing a Serpent. I don't know. I don't think that probably went quite as well as I was hoping. We're going to counter that for sure, and we're going to counter that as well. But can I even start attacking? Because if I attack for 6, unless I get a creature here, I'm taking 4 back. All right, Brainstorm could be a creature. It's not. These back. Mental Note into a Terror would be great. Into a Brainstorm. I guess we'll Brainstorm. Okay, into a Blue Blast, and I blast the Gutter Snipe, so I do get to attack. Then I'm only going to be able to hold the Force Spike, so I might as well hold that. Okay, that's pretty good, actually. I mean, Force Spike doesn't look great here. Hopefully they don't get a decent draw, but killing that and then having a counterspell off the top's decent. Robbery's pretty good. Luckily, killing the Gutter Snipe means we don't just die right away, but it does get their snacker. They'll attack. I would love for them to like play a Flame Breather that I could Force Spike. Faithless Looting is not good enough. And now we have too slow of a clock with these guys. We hit for 6, they hit for 4, we hit for 6, then they hit for 3, and they chump, and we draw land, and we die. But if I don't do anything, then I just die to a snacker slowly. Next draw's an island, so I can put them to 8, then they pass, we draw an island, maybe put them to 2, but then they put us to 4. I think I have to attack. Yeah, I'm very sure that exchange before did not go how I wanted it to, and if we just played it right, I think we probably could have won. I should have either stopped sooner, held up the full counterspell, so I didn't do the Terror there. Maybe not have used the Red Blast. Grab the Prize, we're definitely countering. I do attack for 4. I was really hoping they were hesitant. They were hesitant for a second. I was hoping that they would not attack, but I'm forced to attack, and then I guess, best case scenario, they leave back 1 blocker and I get a Demon Inferior to kill him. But nope, they just get a Red Blast. And now we're done. Mental Note into a Terror. Fantastic. I feel like I probably should have won that one, and it was just a skill error, so. You can now pick up my comprehensive guide to Esper Cryo Affinity, including 38 sideboard matchups, and I just put out a big update for my Black Sack guide, including a slightly different deck list. I began offering coaching sessions if you're interested in taking your Pauper game to the next level, and I'm accepting deck donations, so if you desperately want me to play a deck that I usually wouldn't play, something like Elves, then you can make me do that for a small fee. I've started posting a League video every single day, not to mention streaming at least a couple times a week on Twitch, but I'm not going to be able to keep that up forever unless I can get a little bit more help from the community. Any of the ways I've just mentioned are great ways to help me out, or you can even subscribe and support me on a monthly basis. Play an island and pass. They brainstorm. Oh my god, this is genius. I can clear their brainstorm. If they put 2 cards they really want to draw on top, I just get rid of them. That seems strong. Play an Aquifer. So Dimir, probably Terror, versus Mono Blue. Okay, put back Sleep, Mental Note. Then, I guess I just draw the Mental Note. Not a big deal if I do that. Play a Delver and pass. They play a Snacker. That is a little annoying, but we have a Sleep of the Dead that we can use at some point. Mill that. Oh, right. We were supposed to... Well, let me just brainstorm here. I was supposed to flip off to the Delver first, and that didn't happen. Whatever. I do want to hit these land drops. I think I can get rid of 1, though. Yeah, flip on a Thought Scour. I guess since I'm probably not attacking because of the Snacker, maybe I didn't need to care about the Brainstorm here. Again, whatever. We'll just pass. I could have deemed inferior the Snacker, but, like, that doesn't seem very good, especially because I can use this on a Gurmag or a Terror and then Thought Scour it to fully kill it. Whereas doing that to a Snacker does not do much. They Thought Scour, hitting some removal. They pass the turn. We'll go for a Mental Note on the end step. Mill an island, counterspell, draw an island. Another Delver. If I go for a Cryptic Serpent, it probably gets countered here. We'll go for a Delver. If that survives, then I can maybe, like, next turn go for a Sleep of the Dead on the Snacker. I guess I could do it right now, start attacking. Not using this mana in any other way. Sure. If they want to counter this, that's totally... Oh, actually, I guess I'm getting rid of a spell. But we have 6, so this Serpent costs the same. If we get a Terror, it's fine. We can just fill it with some more stuff. And if they cast this down, that's fine. At least they're using it on that instead of like a Serpent. Double Terror. Great. Maybe us holding up mana was preventing them from terroring. I guess they also just got to 5 spells, so maybe that was it. Well, we'll see if we can blind flip. We don't. Don't really want an island. I guess we'll Thought Scour. Get a Ponder, Delver. Like, Demon Fury against Terror is really annoying because it costs 3 even if I get it down to 1, but to get it down to 1 I have to at least spend a Brainstorm, if not 2 other spells, so it's like 5 mana, and then I also want a Thought Scour afterwards, and that's just... Let's Ponder. I can probably hit an island, and then I can, like... Yeah, then I can, like, Delver and Cryptic Serpent here. I think we just trade for a Terror because we're on the defense a little bit here. Because it's a Serpent, even if they have like an Unexpected Fangs, they'll still trade, so I'm not too worried about that. They have a Lorien, appears. Never mind, it looks like maybe a Gurmag for 5 mana. They have nothing else to play, so they want to preserve their graveyard as much as possible. That makes some sense. Okay, Demon Fury on the Angler is good. This is going to hit Brainstorm, so these will flip. Then Brainstorm can find Terror and make Deem really cheap. Okay, this is good. Double Terror. Okay, so I want to Deem the Gurmag. I kind of want to sleep the Snacker, but I guess we'll leave that for a turn because I can double Terror, and I think I want to do that. Get rid of that Gurmag. They choose second from the top, so also if they try to draw it, I can like Thought Scour it away if I really want. Play 2 Terrors, and we'll pass. Abandon attachments. Yeah, I'm going to mill them so that they can't get back the Gurmag. Well, this one. Hopefully they won't draw another. And hopefully the second card we hit is not a Snacker, but it's an island, so. They discard an Aquifer, play a land. Alright, that went pretty well for us, I think. We'll Sleep at the Dead on the Snacker, and then swing. We can trade a Terror and hit for 11. Feels pretty good. And then Ponder. More land drops and just about anything is good for the Sleep of the Dead. These actually look pretty good, though. We could have Thought Scoured the Deep Analysis, but I can also just draw a bunch with it. Probably would have been better to do that, but kind of forgot I had it in the hand. And we win the game anyway. Dispel's good here, but that's about it. Deem is good. Deep Analysis. Kind of feels like Force Spike's not going to be great, but Envelop's only going to hit Lorien. Maybe they'll bring in like Extract Confession. I think we'll just do that. Hand seems decent. Terror. All right, so we have Ponder and then Brainstorm to find some more islands. If we don't, obviously we're screwed, but all right, so yeah, this is fine. Islands, we find our second one, then I have Cryptic Serpent, which we'll draw, and then I can bin the Deep Analysis with the Thought Scour. Seems strong. They go for a Brainstorm. They play an island and pass. We'll be doing the same. Oh, apparently I put these in the wrong order. Whatever. Thought I put them in the other order. It's a little annoying. I mean, I have the Brainstorm to get rid of the Deep Analysis, but I thought I didn't need to do that. Now, clearly we will, so a bit unfortunate. Cycle a Lorien for an Aquifer. Play that. Well, we'll go for the Brainstorm and Thought Scour on the end step. Yeah, and then we can just cycle a Lorien for the third land. Maybe I just... Yeah, we have the Deep Analysis, so we'll hit our land drops. I don't want to get rid of the Demon Inferior at the moment. That's 5 spells engraved, so we're just passing. So I could cycle a Lorien and then play, like, some terrors, but would rather hold up Counterspell. I could cycle Lorien, and then next turn I can do 3 terrors all at once if I want. They Brainstorm into Mental Note, 2 Snackers. Yeah, that's pretty good. We do have a Counterspell for first time they try to draw 3 Mental Note, but if it's just like another cantrip, then I can't really stop that. I mean, probably. I could counter it, and then they're going to probably just do it anyway. If I counter this, they probably just go for another Thought Scour. Yeah, I think it's fine. Not my favorite, but I don't think I'm casting a counterspell to stop a Thought Scour. That wasn't even set up. Double Snacker comes back. Cycle Lorien. What if we draw our 4th Tolarian Terror? Then we can cast all 4 of them. That'd be really funny. Another counterspell's not bad, actually. I think we just counterspell back and then play another Terror. I could also let that resolve, play another Terror, and then hold up Counterspell for whatever they want to do, but I don't know. 2 Terrors here seems strong. If it was our only Counterspell, I might have let it go, but now that I have a second, I think it's okay. They go for a Spell Bomb, so I guess getting the extra Terror down is pretty nice here. Wasting that Deep Analysis is a bit unfortunate, though. No attacks. Mental Note. Well, we'll swing with these guys for 10. I assume double chump will happen. I'm going to cast a Terror. Oh, right, I can't. Not for cheap. Never mind. I will cast a Mental Note into nothing. If they tap out for like a Lorien revealed here, that'd be a good counter. I think they're going to Gurmag and then go try to bait out the counterspell and then go for a Lorien. Oh, never mind. Well, I'm gonna let the Gurmag happen because I have a Demon Inferior to just get rid of it. Or maybe if that was just gonna be like a counterspell back, maybe I should have done it to draw that out of their hand. There's the Terror. Yeah, I haven't drawn any additional, so Deep Analysis would just be 3 mana and they counterspell it. That's pretty bad. Okay, well, I should have counterspelled because I needed to fill my graveyard a little bit more. So I'll just attack with the Terrors, but they just let it go. Take 10. Maybe they have an unexpected Fangs they want to put on the Angler, but that was not what I was expecting. There's a Terror of their own. Let's try to counter it. Spell Pierce. Okay. I'll pay for it, and if they got another one, which I assume they will. Still a 2 for 1. Not bad. There's the unexpected Fangs. It's nice that they get the hit in, but they luckily put it on the Gurmag since it can attack this turn, so I can just Demon Inferior and not have to deal with it. Dispel's good. Yeah, so let's just attack, and they might just take it seeing as they have the lifelinker, but then I'm just going to Demon Inferior. And Dispel wasn't a bad draw. Put it second from the top. Dispel wasn't bad because if they get like a Brainstorm to get back Snackers, then I can counter it. If they get a Lorien, that's really unfortunate. What a draw. And then they get to Gurmag. Yeah, I just wish Demon Inferior could have been cheaper. If it was 2 mana, then I could have held up the counterspell for the Lorien, which would have also stopped the Angler. I guess I get to force trades here. Probably want to hold up counterspell and dispel. They only have 2 mana. Not 2 mana. They only have 2 cards once they draw one. I guess if I trade with both of these, play a Cryptic Serpent, that's going to be lethal. And then I just try to protect it. Problem is I can't play a Cryptic Serpent and a Terror and hold up Counterspell. I could only hold up Dispel because I only have 5 spells. So I think... And I can't double Terror either. Obviously, I would do that. I think we're just doing a Serpent. Holding up double counter? I don't know. Dispel could definitely get, the removal and some relevant cards, but I'm just not sure. Like, if they have a Counterspell here, having our Counterspell up is pretty good. Thought Scour, I'll let that go. Mills a Snuff Out in a Bog. Snacker. I think I'll let that go. We already put a spell in our graveyard. They can triple block, but then I get to double Terror, and then I get to counterspell whatever they play. So triple blocking actually leads to their death pretty immediately. Not that they necessarily know that. They'll probably just single block, because it's a lot safer. Yeah. We drew a Serpent, which is actually lethal, so we'll do that and a Terror. Hold up the counterspell. I could just put the Terror down, but then if they get something, it could be really bad, like a Lorien. So then we just hold this up. They got a Snuff Out for the Terror. If I counterspell, I don't even win. I think I let that go, because I can just replace the Terror. They chump both of these, and then I can counter whatever they do next turn, and then we'll win then. Oh, or we just draw Sleep of the Dead and we'll win right now. Tap that, swing with 2 lethal attackers. Hold up a counterspell. Alright, we got there. This hand is bad. This hand is worse. This one's not very good either, but we're gonna keep it. Get rid of 2 Demon Inferiors, I guess. And start with the Delver. I'm pretty sure we're against Turbo Fog because they played Swamp into Campfire, and also they skipped their first main phase right away, which often these decks will do to save time. Pestilence looks... That's about the same. Pestilence, Turbo Fog. Flip a counterspell. I guess we'll draw that. Ponder, try to hit a land. We do hit a land, but only because it's a Lorien. So not a land this turn. Yes, we'll keep it. Chances might be a little worse if we just shuffle to hit a land. We'll swing for 3, and they just cast down the Delver and Bojuka Bog. That's a little annoying for sure. I mean, it was only one spell that we lost. We have a Thought Scour and a Serpent on top. I guess getting the Thought Scour isn't the end of the world because it fills our graveyard quicker. Get an island and play that. We'll pass. They have a Pestilence. I will Thought Scour. We get rid of both our Demon Furies. We have shuffled, but like if I could Demon Fury this plant, we could get rid of the Pestilence. We'll take 0 for Spike. I guess we'll Mental Note. They only have 1 card in hand. We hit an island. We also hit a bunch of spells. So I can play a Terror for 1. Hold up a 4 Spike, or I could just counterspell. I'm going to hope their last card's not like a Edict or something. Like if they have a cast down and they have to pay 4 for it and then I 4 Spike it, that's fine. Fanatical Offering, a Nutrient Block. Sure. I was definitely hoping they didn't have much more card draw, but obviously I could have left up a counterspell if I really wanted to make sure that didn't happen. Once they get to 5 black mana, they can Pestilence or Terror down. They have a Spell Bomb. That is annoying. I'm going to hold the Thought Scour since they're probably going to Spell Bomb us at some point. Might not be right now, but it could be so that I don't get another Terror. And they do. There's the second Terror. Of course, playing a second Terror on this board might have been a little precarious anyway, just because the Pestilence. We attack. I probably should have slept the plant right here, but they actually don't block, so it's fine. I'm gonna hold up both Force Spike and Counterspell, but of course if they just play a black land, I can't do much about that. Colony Garden, sure. Now I can't really sleep either to get through very effectively. Thought Scour. We mill a Demon Fear, that's what I needed. I guess we'll Brainstorm now. It doesn't look like it really matters though. Play an island, swing for 5. We're just gonna leave up counterspells until they kill this Terror. Like, I'm not gonna run out the second Terror while they could just Pestilence them both down, obviously. Oh, they're gonna Insight. I think we need to keep them off cards at this point, so I'm going to counter that. They can't fire, and I'll pass. They cast down, pay the ward, we will counter. They'll activate Campfire. We draw an island here. Sleep at the dead of the plant, because I might as well at this point. Get in for 5. Well, it's really unfortunate. It kind of feels like I need to play the Terror, though. But if they do just hit that swamp, then they just wipe them both away, and we probably lose. But right now, we're on like a maybe 3-turn clock, if with just one of them. I guess I only have a 4 Spike, so also they could do a draw spell or something into the land. Any draw spell is going to be black, though. Heritage Reclamation. Exiling the Sleep of the Dead. That is annoying, especially because it draws them a card. Spell Bomb, sure. No more Terrors. You got it. Lembas. Might as well 4 Spike it. Lembas is super relevant. Even if it's not the best thing ever to counter, it's like it is relevant enough, and 4 Spike isn't getting any better. Put him to 1 here. I guess I'll play a Delver. The Eviscerators Insight the map. The good news here is that they don't have the life to activate Pestilence, even if they got the land there to kill everything. Even with the Campfire, they would have had to have like a Weather the Storm or something. They can definitely block Pestilence the Delver, potentially kill a Terror, but they need to draw that. They play a Swamp, so they find the 5th black source. They play a Heaped Harvest. I don't think that's going to keep him alive, unless I'm missing something here. I'll reveal a Brainstorm and cast that. We get a Demon Furier. Before I would have gone for a Pestilence, but now I think getting rid of the plant is our best bet to win the game. I think we were winning anyway, because they block here. They could Pestilence for 2, that kills them though. I don't really know what they're doing for 2 mana to prevent these from dying, and they didn't have green for a Fog, otherwise that would have worked either way, so I don't know, but we got there. Crazy that we got there through a Pestilence being on the field the whole time, but bring in a Null so that we can stop a Pestilence from hitting the field. Sleep of the Dead was good there, but I feel like generally if all they have is Cauldron Familiars and things like that, it's not going to be very good. The fact that the plants were around for so long, I don't know. 4 Spikes feel like they could be pretty good too. Probably not as important as these. I think Deep Analysis, like I want to go fast, so I don't think that's that important. Demon Furier is like our only out once it's on the field. There's not much else to cut. I'm not cutting the Delvers in this matchup because we need every creature we can get. This needs to find some creatures, but once we get there, it has a pretty fast way to fill the graveyard. They play a Spell Bomb, we just pass with an island. Familiar in a garden. I don't think I even need to Brainstorm yet. Just pass. They swing for 1. Rot Farm. We'll Brainstorm Mental Note now, I suppose. It's a lot of lands. Doesn't actually matter if we mill the lands, so I think we'll shuffle them away with the Lorien and then just pass. Here they have a Wellspring. I guess that's fine. I could go for a Mental Note to try to hit in a Null. If I get in a Null with the current state of our counterspells, I'd probably want to keep it for a Pestilence, so we'll take a damage. I will Mental Note on the end step here. We hit double a Null. Kind of expect them to crack their Spell Bomb then. In the draw step, indeed they are. A bit unfortunate, because obviously we could otherwise get down to Serpent and a Terror, but that's how it goes. Let's go for Delver and just pass. Heaped Harvest. That seems like a decent one to annul, so I'll just go for the Thought Scour, see if we get anything. And we don't. Just an island, Millilorian. Blind Flip. It's another island. That's so many islands. I guess I'm going to play a 5-mana Cryptic Serpent. Why not? I'm doing the Cryptic Serpent because I can't hold up a Dispel, so it's super vulnerable anyway. Might as well make it even more vulnerable, and then next turn I can play a Terror holding up the Dispel so that it's extra protected, but they also have chump blockers, so it might just be chumped for a few turns while they put a Campfire, Lembas up. No, they just cast it down right away. We get a Ponder, finally. Flips, Ponder, hopefully will hit something good. Annul, Counterspell are decent. 4 cards in hand. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Swing with the Aberration, and I can hold up. I can play a Terror here and hold up Dispel and Annul to try to protect it from either Pestilence or like a cast down. I activate Campfire, attack with the Cauldron Familiar. Do I think they're gonna have like Toxin Analysis in the deck? Probably not. I think that'd be crazy unless they have Crypt Rats. I think we just block, and they're trying to get free damage. Slash, they're trying to use this to sack like Heaped Harvest and stuff. Now something's died, so they Tragic Slip. Sure. Fair. I'll Dispel and I guess hope they don't have another Tragic Slip. Bajuka Bog hits the graveyard. Our next draws are Counterspell and Island, so we know the graveyard doesn't really matter at the moment. They bring back the Cauldron Familiar with the Heaped Harvest. Grab another land. Alright. Not the worst. I'm just going to keep attacking. I could Demon Inferior like a Campfire, but right now that just holds them off from like using it like a turn or two. And unless I want to annul it, which I don't think I want to use both of those on that. Once we can start getting through these chump blockers, I think it won't matter if they're gaining 2 a turn. That's the hope anyway. Swing with the Familiar for 1. Play a Swamp, pass. Upkeep, they're gonna, cast down Terror? Yep. I'm gonna Counterspell. I already have everything else protected. Or no, we lost the Dispel. So I already have the Pestilence covered. And, I mean, Terror is what I gotta protect to have a shot at winning. This Aberration is not gonna get there by itself. Flashback, Eviscerator's Insight, sacking the Familiar so it can come back. The Lembas, okay, sure. And they chump with it. Hold the island for a Brainstorm. Activate Campfire. Nutrient Block. Unfortunately, I don't think I can use a null on like a random artifact, random food, something like that. I think I gotta keep it for a Pestilence. Same with the Wellspring. And the block. Back Familiar. And there's a Lembas. Tolarian Terror, huh? I mean, not terrible. More damage. And we have an annul for the first Pestilence anyway. Yeah, we're hoping for the best here. Fanatical Offering, the Plant. That's an interesting choice. Unless they're about to wipe the board. We will annul and hope they don't have a second one. Although if they do, they still won't be able to kill the Terrors this turn. Cast down the Delver. Then what? They have some Edicts. Yep, there's a Tithing Blade. And a Tithing Blade. Alright, they got me. Did what I could, which was not enough. We don't really have more of a sideboard for them here. I feel like Demon Inferior is probably worse than a Force Spike, maybe. Like, if the Pestilence hits the field, we're probably toast anyway, so we just need to play as if it'll never hit the field. Force Spike can help in the early game. I guess this is okay. We can fill the graveyard semi-quickly, and then Serpent just dies to, like, a Tithing Blade. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. Thought Scour hits 2 spells. Now we're flooded already. I guess we're hardcasting Lorien this game in about 3 turns. They pass. Okay, Delver's not a bad draw. Lets us hold up Counterspell still. They go for the Throat. Sure. I feel like it's hard to know whether I should protect something like that because they could have 4 more removal spells, or they could just have all like card draw or something in between. Lembas. Part of me thinks I should hold this for later for more expensive things, or for like removal on a Cryptic Serpent. I don't know. We're a tempo deck. Feels like we kind of got to use these early. We know we're casting a Lorien next turn, so I'm going to just cast this Serpent with no protection right now. Spell Bomb, sure. Definitely makes me glad that I cast the Serpent there. Play a Garden. Attack for 6. I'm sure it gets chump blocked. Fanatical Offering. Well, we'll just go for a Lorien. Some decent cards, I suppose. I think this might be a very tough matchup for us. Spellbomb, then Lembas. We'll Ponder, Brainstorm, Delver. Sure, we'll put 2 Delvers on the field here. What's the worst that could happen? I guess I could have taken one of the Brainstorms and then used that. Still played both Delvers. I don't know. Troll of Khazad-dûm. Sure. Flip them both. We'll Brainstorm, Counterspell. We'll attack for 6 and just pass. Play Nutrient Block, swing with the Troll, pardon all the background noise. They're going to cast down an Aberration, which I will Counterspell. They're going to Insight a Nutrient Block. Sure. I'll Brainstorm again here. Don't need those islands. Mental Note. Force Spike. Well, we're going to hold up a Null and Force Spike rather than playing Terror because they could have a Pestilence here. They play a Cauldron Familiar. Fortunately, we have about the same, what is it? Same clock as their troll, except that they have life gain. They do play a Heaped Harvest, which we can annul. They play a Tithing Blade, which we're going to annul as well. If they Pestilence next turn, we will lose. But, well, and of course they have the Bog, so I can't even Terror, which is relevant because Terror would let us, well, I guess they're going to map onto the token. So we already have a 2-turn clock. We're dead to Troll next turn. We can't block it. I guess we left in Sleep of the Dead. Sleep would be a good draw, an adequate draw. But I don't have it. They got the millionth way to blow up our graveyard, so I can't play one of these. We can attack for 6 and we're going to die. Alright, this hand would be really cool if we could ensure that we get these really cheap. If we had like another Thought Scour, but there's no way we can ensure that, and seems like it'd be a good one to get rid of. So we'll keep this instead. It's fine. We can fill our graveyard pretty fast, so any serpents we find can come out pretty quickly. And we're against Black Sack, which is generally not a very good matchup for us. I'm used to playing it on the other side, though. Cycle a Lorien. We'll just hold up Counterspell here for Carrion Feeder or a Beetle or something. They swing for 1. Link Breaker will let go, and they're going to pass. They're probably going to Village Rites on the end step here, but I can live with that. Delver of Secrets. So I actually want to set up and not mill. So let's flip Mental Note and then an Island, because we're going to draw that back, so it doesn't matter. Here's the Delver, and we'll pass. Nothing from them. They cast a Carrion Feeder. There could be a bunch of other things that they follow up after that, they bait this for. But Carrion Feeder is a pretty good one. I think it's worth countering here. Beetle is nowhere near as good without the feeder. We'll take 2, and then I expect a Village Rites. Yup, growing the Beetle. We'll flip Delver, and then Mental Note. See if we can get like a Terror. Milling 2 islands. Brainstorm. Okay. I mean, we just brainstormed, but Demon Fury is pretty good, so I could just hit the Beetle with that. I guess we're definitely putting back Sleep. Mental Note. Swing for 3. We don't have Counterspell anyway, so I could bluff it. Could wait till the Beetle's bigger, but this is the turn where it's cheap. We'll just do this. We also kept Thought Scour, so if they put it second from the top, which they probably will, I have the option to get rid of it if I want to. But they chose the bottom, actually. Top 2 cards for us are Mental Note and Sleep of the Dead, so I can definitely Thought Scour those without being too upset about it. As soon as we get a Terror, our clock gets a lot better, but right now it's not looking great. And yeah, Vampire makes things tough. And another Vampire. We will Thought Scour, hitting a Ponder and an Island. So I could sleep one of the Blood Thrones, because currently they can deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it very easily could be lethal. I think Ponder lets me see 3 cards. Lorien's the most mana efficient, but then we tap out, which could just lose us the game if they get Rite of Consumption or something. I really want a Lorien, but I think the responsible thing to do is to Ponder here for a Counterspell or creature or something. Demon Inferior. Okay, I can do that after Lorien next turn, I guess. Gotta leave back the Aberration. Nested Shambler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 13 from either one of these. Not quite lethal. So I gotta counter this or we die. And then if they have another creature, we'll lose. Looks like they might not, though. Obviously, they could just have a stamina and then we're dead. But it looks like they're gonna pump the blocked one. I mean, okay. That 8/2 creature is not the worst. So I can play Lorien and then I can Demon Inferior, or I could just double Sleep of the Dead. I think Lorien into Deem and then sleep on a future turn is probably better. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we die to a Rite of Consumption here, but that's probably the case regardless. And this can give us like a Terror to play next turn. Get rid of a Vampire and hope to survive. Choose bottom for it. Carrion Feeder means this can hit for 9, but they couldn't pump it by a little bit, but by 3 last time, so I don't think we're dead here. They sacked the feeder, though, so that's not a good sign. Breaker, yeah. I think they could have killed us. I mean, they definitely could have killed us last turn if they had Rite of Consumption. They just deal us 6, then they sack, then they Rite of Consumption. We were tapped out last turn, though, so I don't know why they didn't do this before. I guess their last card must have been the Carrion Feeder, and they just top decked the right. That's the only way that makes any sense. Like I said, I don't think I've played this from this side before, so it's pretty interesting. We get Gut Shot, can do decent utility. We'll see how well it is, how well it works. Envelop hits maybe Unearth and just Rite of Consumption, but if they're smart, they're taking Rite of Consumption out. Dispel hits Removal and their Village Rites and Stamina. That's probably enough cards that matter. You can take out Deep Analysis and maybe Force Spikes. I feel like Force Spike could be pretty good here, but they are a deck that's low to the ground with very few lands. Force Spike can be really good turn 1 to 3, but after that they usually leave up a little bit of mana unless they're stalled on lands. And if they're stalled on lands, we should be okay anyway. Hopefully. That's my thought, at least. Okay. Couple early Delvers could be decent if they don't just have Snuff Outs and Tragic Slips right away. It's a decent play. I think we start with a Delver, and then next turn, it's probably safest to ponder. Like, try to flip blindly and then ponder into a land for the next Delver. But I want to get this attacking as quickly as possible, so I don't think I want to, like, ponder to set up a land here and then go for Delver next turn. Might just be missing out on mana there, or damage rather. Start with a Beetle. This is a time that Gut Shot would be great for the Beetle. I could Brainstorm to make sure this flips, but then if we whiff on a land, it's really bad. We're just going to go up blind, and we hit a counter spell. So that's good. Then we're going to ponder and hope for the best. Okay, that's not the best. I was really hoping for an island and any spell that I could set up for the Delver. I could set up a Delver, but then I don't want these Serpents, actually. We got to shuffle this. Okay, that was incredible. So I could hold up Dispel. I don't think so. I think we just Delver, and then next turn we can probably Brainstorm to set this up. Then we can hold up Dispel, or if we get an island, a counterspell. And yeah, I was hoping they wouldn't do that, but what are you going to do? So that will eat a Delver. Now I don't need to set it up. And they have a 3-power 1-drop as well. So, a bit unfortunate. I want to Brainstorm to hit our land drop. If we miss, we don't have Counterspell up. I think we're going to take that chance. Okay, we did miss, but we also got a Demon Inferior, so I can hit this Beetle. We're tapping out, so they could just, like, kill the Aberration, which I don't love. And then to hit a land drop, we're going to need a Mental Note away. Probably Dispel Gut Shot. They can be pretty good, but yeah, we're going to do this. Beetle is second from the top. There's a Carrion Feeder, and a Shambler, and a Sage. With a Beetle on top. Don't think I want the Gut Shot. So let's just Mental Note. We draw Lorien and a Cryptic Serpent. Alright, Lorien's a land, and then I can Terror, attack the Aberration, play a 5/5. There's the Beetle. Last card, Village Rites, pretty decent. And Spell Bomb. Yeah, if they're smart, they're just going to use that right away, so I can't get more Serpents down. They will lose a card draw, but that's not their biggest concern at the moment. Yep, they do. We're not in a terrible spot, but we're just working off of these now. And of course, the reason Black Sack, well, one of the main reasons they're really good against us is they have chump blockers for days, so this Terror is going to be really hard to get in. I even wanted an island so I could go Cryptic Serpent Counterspell. Obviously now that doesn't really matter. I still think I attack with both here. If they block with a Shambler, that means at least they're not going to be able to stamina anything. If they double block, then these guys are going to get bigger, but Crackback can be painful. I don't know. It's a tough spot. Counterspell's good, but not being able to play anything else is pretty rough. Because currently they have 9 damage back on us, and then we hit them for 8, and then we die. So that's not very good. I don't even think Vampire's that amazing, but I think we should just cast our Counterspell. They attack for 7. Another Counterspell. Yep, we just gotta attack here, because if we attack, they block, chump, sack, and then they only have to get one of any creature to deal lethal. This way, I can maybe block the Feeder and make them have to trade with it or something. Especially because we do have a Counterspell. If they attack with the Beetle, I think we block here still. Because currently they could sack the Squirrel and trade. I'm fine with that. And if they have another way to make a guy, then yeah, it's not great, but okay. Trade is definitely decent for us. They're going to pass. Sleep of the Dead would probably have been our best draw. I mean, we can't die to a Rite of Consumption here, but we're also 2 turns behind, so they play any creature here. And they can make the Feeder lethal in 2 turns. I think I gotta counter this. That also lets us play a Cryptic Serpent next turn. They attack for 4. Terror is harder to kill, so I might as well play that, just in case they get like a Snuff Out or something. Put them to 2 and play a 5-mana Terror. Like this way they can't play a double body creature, sack it, and like Tragic Slip our Cryptic Serpent. They'd need a swamp for that. If they can't kill us this turn, they have to kill the Aberration and they die, or get like a flying chump blocker. This doesn't block, so if they don't have anything, then we can attack with 2 lethal attackers. Alright, that was a close one, but we got there. This hand, not good enough, unfortunately. Sleep of the Dead is really good against them, so it is unfortunate, but I think I gotta ship that, because I just didn't have any cantrips or anything. This hand is like the same, though. I have 1 Demon Inferior, 1 Lorien, and then I'm not gonna be able to play these guys. Like, come on. Sure. I think I keep definitely Lorien, Island, Cryptic Serpent. I kind of want to keep the interaction for them so that I can survive longer. I don't actually think I keep the Cryptic Serpent. I think I keep the Brainstorm. I have a Gut Shot, so if they lead on a Beetle or a Feeder, I can just shoot it. They lead on a Sage, that's a little more annoying. Well, I got my Serpent right back. Now if they like play a Vampire, I can Force Spike it. Swing for 1. There's the Vampire. Some good value. Get an Island. That's nice. So I can Brainstorm, Lorien if I need. Gut Shot was really kept to make sure to kill a turn 1 Carrion Feeder or something. Now it's probably not going to be very effective, so I'll probably end up shuffling it away. They swing for 1, play a Link Breaker, play a Link Breaker. Okay, that's it. I mean, that's not the worst. Brainstorm. Okay. Gut Shot, Lorien, and then we Thought Scour. And then I can get down Terror quickly. Terror could die to a couple of things. Kind of tough. I think I play the Serpent, actually. This lets me leave up more mana next turn when I play a Terror in case I draw Counterspell or something. I'm thinking if they play like an Accursed Marauder, then the Serpent... I'd rather lose the Serpent and have the Terror with Ward for like the next thing, but they snuff out, so that's the opposite side of the coin. I'd prefer the Terror when they go for the snuff out. They only have 1 card left, though, and it wasn't a Curing Feeder, or they didn't want to play into a Counterspell. Swing for 3, and they cast nothing. I'm not going to Demon Inferior a 1-drop. Well, not a 1-drop, obviously. A fodder creature. I would do it maybe to a token, certainly to a grower. And I'm going to hope to keep this Lorien for a land. Not a land, for draw 3. They play a swamp, so maybe getting a little flooded, which could be good for us. No attacks is good. They don't have a Tragic Slip. Brainstorm is tough, because Brainstorm reduces Demon Inferior, but Brainstorm also helps us hit a land drop, and if we hit a land drop, then Demon Fury can be reduced by a Lorien. I think we go for the Brainstorm. Dispel and Ponder are pretty good. Put back these 2. Just hold up Dispel. So I could start attacking, but to be honest, we're not getting through, and then we let them start getting in for damage. Less, obviously, but we're not getting in for any damage. We start whittling them away, but then I kind of think we have this Lorien. We have some value we need to wait to accrue, so I think we wait a turn or 2. Before, like, maybe until I get another creature or a sleep or something to absorb some of this damage. But obviously if they just play an Accursed Marauder, then that's bad and not quite where we want to be. Ideally, if they play anything, Unearth the Vampire. Yeah, it's not good. We do have the Demon Inferior, which we can get. If I Lorien, I have 2 unknowns to hit an island, and then I can Demon Inferior. Or I could just Ponder to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If they didn't take out Rite of Consumption, this is pretty close to killing us. But if I Ponder for the Demon Inferior, they're only 1 turn away from getting it away again. I think we go for the Lorien. Bit more of a Hail Mary. We do get the island and the Demon Fury and a Thought Scour, which can kill the vampire. But if I use it now, they could Village Rites to draw it again. I think it's still the safest to do this. And I think we're still holding back. They do put it second from the top. Carrion Feeder. Okay, now they're attacking with everything because they're happy to get the feeder. Sacrifice it to the feeder. At least they get something out of losing a guy, which makes sense. I think we block the guy on the ground because it means that they can't have an extra attacker. Kind of. Alright, let's get some good stuff. Terror's good. Ponder, another Terror wouldn't be bad. Cryptic Serpent, Counterspell. Okay, so I can Thought Scour to get rid of the Vampire. So then we can have both Counterspell and Cryptic Serpent. Although we're going to play Terror this turn, which means I could play the Delver and our Terror and still hold up Counterspell. Means Delver doesn't flip for an extra turn, but I think that's okay. Thought Scour them. Now we swing. They take 5. To play Terror and Delver. I'm not holding up Dispel, but they haven't really shown that they have instants that they were wanting to use. Obviously, they could be waiting on them. I mean, obviously, I am holding up Dispel, but not it and Counterspell. They sack, get the Insect. That could just be to have a little bit of damage flying with the Mercenary on the Insect. They could have like a Glee on the Insect. I might Counterspell that actually, but not this turn. Okay, no attacks at all. That's very good. Unearth a Sage. It's not the worst thing ever, but Sage is pretty good. Feeder can start getting pretty big. It's another Insect. What's the worst that could happen? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I couldn't die to a Rite of Consumption here. I think I kind of need to limit their fodder, seeing as we're attacking with Terrors. So I think we're going to counter this. Partially going off the fact that they haven't played anything the last couple turns, so I'm expecting the last cards in their hand might be somewhat dead. Maybe a Swamp they're bluffing with, maybe a Rite of Consumption that they can't currently use. That's what I'm operating under. I think I'll even attack with this Delver. No, Delver can chump the feeder. I think that's fine. I don't mind trading the Delver with a piece of fodder here just because it takes away more fodder, but I think actually having it to chump the feeder is probably good. Chump with the Link Breaker, so they're going to go to 6. Okay, having the Delver around might actually be decent if it flips. Even if it doesn't flip, it's just... it adds lethal to the Terrors, right? 1 Terror plus a Delver is lethal. Rotten Reunion. Counterspell. Okay. That can make 2 creatures. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Huh. Pretty close to lethal with a Rite of Consumption. It would be with another double body fodder creature, and I couldn't do anything about it. I think I dispel this for that reason, plus the chances they get an instant are kind of low. I would much prefer to dispel a Village Rites or a Snuff Out or something, but we're far enough in the game that there's no guarantee they're going to have one of those, and I would hate to not counterspell with the Dispel and then die with it in my hand because I didn't use it. No attacks, not even with the feeder. Counterspell, we'll reveal that. I mean, they'll know we have it, but if I attack with everything, they have to block this, and they have to block these. So they only have 3 creatures that can block, which means this gets in for 3. That doesn't actually change our clock, though, so I might as well leave it back, although that actually means they don't technically have to chump both of these, so they could keep one alive. But then I have a chump blocker, which I think is for the best. Not to mention I have a counterspell. I think we just attack like this. Although maybe I even leave back the second terror, to seeing as, again, they're not both lethal. Yeah, they can just do these blocks. I feel like we're in a good spot, but I know Black Sack, and if they have the right combination of cards, probably lose here. It's kind of tough through a counterspell. Another Rotten Reunion. As long as I can keep Aberration alive, I can chump the feeder. Don't think I'm countering either of these, so this gets them 7 damage off of tokens, and then Rite of Consumption would be lethal if they have that. Of course, I have the counterspell, so they would need something else. And none of those tokens block, so I can attack in. Yeah, and I take the match. I think it was a little close. Really don't know what their last card was, but we ended up getting there. I don't love the fact that we don't have much, well, really any card selection, but double counterspell's pretty good, so we'll try to hope that'll be good enough. We already had a good amount of lands, though. Drawing another one does not help much. Would definitely have loved like a Force Spike here, because I'm expecting them to go for grab the prize, although they will expect a potential Force Spike, so if they are Rakdos Madness, or Red Madness rather is my thought. I was going to say they might respect the Force Spike, but I guess not. We're drawing only islands. They cast a Robbery, we will counter it. Attack for 1, we'll draw our island. Why not? If I knew the top 3 cards of our deck were islands, I certainly would not have kept this hand. I mean, we're doing okay just because of the counter spells, but still not loving it. Demon Inferior would tap us out of the counter spell, so we're not going to do that yet. Another Robbery, which we'll counter. Would prefer to get some grab the prizes, but we'll take that. There's an island. We wanted to keep this Lorien revealed. I'm honestly just going to play a 5-mana Terror. We could die for sure, but we're not holding up Counterspell anyway. I don't want a 3-mana Demon Inferior here. Next turn, I'm going to Lorien into Demon Inferior, and assuming we're still alive, and then it's hard for them to kill that Terror. Gutter Snipe, okay. Lava Dart plus Fire Blast is 11. Not dead yet. If we get a Thought Scour... God. Again, I have to be responsible now, I think, which is brainstorming into Demon Inferior, because if I hit a Thought Scour, I can get rid of Gutter Snipe permanently. If I hit a Counterspell, then I can maybe not die, rather than just going for the Lorien here. Mental Note doesn't really do much. Guess we'll get rid of these two. Then we'll Mental Note, see if we get that Counterspell or something. No, we did. Demon Inferior on the Gutter Snipe. If they Fire Blast us in response, first of all, they're losing all their lands, and also I can Counterspell it. Not going to Counterspell the Lava Dart, obviously, because that's only 1. Kind of wanted them to Fire Blast. Well, I really wanted them to Fire Blast. Not only could I Counterspell it, but then I could play a Terror as well. Whereas now I could play a Terror or hold up Counterspell. I feel like I have to hold up the Counterspell. Do I attack with the Terror? 5 damage, but I'm giving up 1 damage? Yeah, okay. We'll do that. Yeah, if I had milled that Lorien instead of the Cryptic Serpent, I could have played the Terror. That might be my undoing. I really wanted to hold the Lorien to draw, but that might not be happening, or I might be dead. Faithless Looting. I mean, honestly, I feel like I need to counter a Faithless Loot. Although we probably then just die to Bolt plus Fire Blast, would be my guess. There's the Lightning Bolt. I'll Force Spike you. Don't do it. Yep, why not? Get rid of Deep Analysis, 4 Delvers, 2 Sleeps. Alright, hand is decent. We have a Blue Blast, probably just Lorien here. I did not blast the Epicure, and that's probably right, but it could always deal us way too much damage. We'll see. If I can get a turn 4 Terror, maybe it only deals us 3, but that's still not bad. We'll Brainstorm into Mental Note. A Fiery Temper. I don't think I want to blast that. Brainstorm. I guess I'm just milling a bunch of islands. I would have dispelled that, so I guess it was in their best interest to do it that way. Mental Note, mill some islands, draw another, pass. Take 1. They cast a Flame Breather, which will counter. They're going to blast us back, and we're going to dispel. Now, Mental Note, hope to draw a Terror. Nope. Thought Scour, hope to hit a Terror. Hey, we did. Alright. Okay. Maybe we have a shot here, protecting this with our Blue Blast. We did mill a Blue Blast and a Terror, so definitely some good ones gone. Flame Breather, I think we just counter that. They have the Red Blast again. Dispel, Thought Scour, we get an island. I milled 2 Cryptic Serpents. Okay, I can attack for 5, but then we're taking 2 back. It's not great, but they only have 2 cards in hand. I don't really know. It's safest to hold back, but it feels like we could just then die to their spells. I don't know. Grab the prize. Unfortunately, this Dispel is not an Envelop. so that's fine. We'll take 2. We get an island, so let's play a Lorien. Now we get Envelop. Okay. Envelop and Dispel. I think maybe we can be okay. Feels like the turn we attacked, we probably have to just keep attacking every turn. I mean, we'll reevaluate, but feels like stopping now is not a great idea. I don't know. Lightning Bolt us. Well, feels like they're going for the kill. I could counter that. We'll counter the second one. They do a Fire Blast. So we go to 4. So we die to a Bolt or a Fire Blast. Anyway, or they have a Red Blast. No, we're alive somehow. All right, let's ponder. Those are bad, but I can just refresh them with this mental note. Deem Inferior. So let's brainstorm first. Go back some islands. Deem the Flame Breather. Okay, those are some good draws. Play a Terror, attack for 5. We have lethal on them next turn if they don't get another creature or a way to kill us. We have an Envelop for like a draw 2. They could have a Pyroblast to survive, I suppose. No, we got there. That's crazy. Those last draws were pretty good. Getting the Terror and a way to get rid of the Flame Breather. All right. Blast and Deem Inferior. Start with the Epicure again. Epicure did deal us a lot of damage last game, but apparently not enough for us to actually have to deal with it at all. Another Epicure. I'm going to let it go and hope that we can just get this Terror down fast enough that it can block, and then we'll be okay. I'm just going to mental note because the Brainstorm might want to save for a Deem Inferior turn. Another Blast, we mill a Lorien. Another Terror. Okay, so Brainstorm Thought Scour can definitely put us to 6 spells for the next turn. And ideally, I can get an island, and I can go like Terror with the Blue Blast backup. And again, they're trying to grab the prize. I will definitely counter that, and if they Red Blast, I'll counter back. Because now they're down to 1 card. That's pretty good. We draw an island. We have 4 spells. So if I Brainstorm, so I should just Thought Scour and hope we hit at least 1 spell. We don't. We hit 2 terrors. No, 1 terror. But that means we don't have a 1 mana terror. So I'm just going to cast a 2 mana one. We're still holding the Brainstorm because I might want it for the Deem Inferior. So if I had hit 1 spell, I could double terror there. We're in a very good spot. Now we're in an okay spot. They get a Robbery. Discarding a Snacker. It's pretty good. Might Deem Inferior that. Blood Token away another Snacker. Yeah, especially if we get a counter spell here. So I could counter a draw 2. Perfect. So I can play everything in my hand for 1 mana, so we're going to Brainstorm. Okay, so this turn actually put back these. Deem Inferior, the Snacker. I actually think I leave up Blast and Envelop to be safe here, and then I don't attack. So if they try to get a draw 2, they do choose second from the top. So if they try to get a draw 2, then I can just Envelop or whatever, or Faithless Looting. That's what they're going to do. So if I knew it was just going to be Faithless, obviously I could have played the Terror, but I wanted to play around so I could grab the prize plus a Red Blast. I think we're going to be okay, because now I get to just play a Cryptic Serpent and a Terror, holding up a Blast. Plus their draw here is going to be a Sneaky Snacker, which might not be very good now. Well, Epicure does let them discard the Snacker, and it lets them chump. I don't think it's good enough to counter, though. We still let that go. I think this is saved for a draw 2 or a Gutter Snipe. There's the Tempered at our face. Our top deck is a Thought Scour, so it could be anything. Another counterspell would be good. Perfect. So if I attack with everything, we force 1 block, and then I have double counterspell. They can attack for 2, put us to 9, but through 2 counterspells, I don't think they can kill us. And this makes it so that we have lethal on them next turn. All right. And we end up getting there against Madness. We got a 3-2 with the deck, not bad at all. I definitely think that I'm trying to continue practicing the deck. I think that maybe the first time we played against Madness, we may have not played that perfectly, and that may have resulted in us losing. Delver is still a really good card. We saw it against Black Sack and a couple of the other matches, but we're also siding it out against most any deck with Sneaky Snacker or Refurb, which is a lot of the decks. So I understand the versions that are not running it. Both are pretty good, I think. And obviously, this is a pretty strong deck. Thanks so much for watching, and thank you to my $10 and up supporters. If you want to support me on a monthly basis, go ahead and check out my Metafy link down below. It's the best way to make sure I continue putting out videos. You can also get coaching or submit a deck donation to me as well. Any of that really helps me out. Thank you to my current $10 and up supporters: Howard Granger, Rafa Rodriguez, JDNPX, Adam Cadmon, Apple Beta Pi, Halcaz, Cody, Kyle, and Sty. I really appreciate your support, and I will see you all next time.